It's difficult to not smile when you see just how happy Ukrainians are, particularly those who live in Kherson, are finally being liberated. We've not talked about what this means for Russia, have we? What is your take on it?
Yeah, first of all, it's fantastic to see these scenes. It's a decisive victory. It's the only regional capital that Russia had ever taken, and it's now been liberated after 8 or 9 months in their hands. A massive setback, however you play it, for Russia. Ukraine's still got to deal with booby traps. There's also reports of lots of rogue Russian forces that were left behind, who've got into civilian clothing. They'll create a problem. Likewise, the Kharkovka dam here, we worry it was mined by the Russians. If they did decide to blow that, that could cause a lot of problem for the Ukrainians. But, no, fantastic euphoria. It's worth actually pointing out from a military perspective, though, this withdrawal probably suited both sides, both Ukraine and Russia.
Which is odd thing to say, given a withdrawal looks like defeat, doesn't it? It looks like they're running over the river with their tail between their legs. Yeah,
but part of this is from a military perspective, you want to focus on your main effort. And it's pretty clear that the Russian strategy, their main effort is up here in the Donbass. They've been throwing lots and lots of forces at the one area of the Donbass that they don't currently own. They've been taking huge casualties with inexperienced soldiers. So actually withdrawing from Kherson in orderly manner with their equipment, redeploying their forces up to the Donbass, will allow them to re-attack up there with 30,000 more soldiers, which will make life very, very difficult from Ukraine perspective. Likewise, from Zelensky's perspective, his main effort was almost certainly Kherson, and he's managed to retake that without having to fight his way in. It's worth pointing out, though, this is not a rout. If you remember up at Kharkiv, when the Ukrainians pushed the Russian forces back and then chased them down the road, and they took out vast swathes of territory. Having Kherson, because the Ukrainians have taken out many of the bridges, but the Dnipro is now a very effective barrier, and the Russians have also dug in defensively on the far side. So it will not be easy for Ukraine to chase the Russian forces out. What looks very likely at the moment, the Russian priority is going to be the Donbass, protect the land bridge down to Crimea, and potentially then achieve success with its special military operation.
So what happens next, do you think?
Well, we've got winter arriving, which generally slows things down. Both sides are running short of weapons at the moment, and both sides will be battle-weary. From a Russian perspective, their military is spent at the moment. They're also running short of weapons. They're going to Iran to try and get drones and cruise missiles. He's pretty close to achieving his objectives here, and he's got a bit of an uprising back domestically. So actually, it's almost certain Putin's getting close to the point where he would be prepared to negotiate. From a Ukrainian perspective, though, their tails are up, their morale is high, and as you've heard, they're trying to get rid of all Russian forces from everywhere, including Crimea. Part of the challenge with that, though, is a bit of realism. They're also short of weapons. The West is supplying those weapons, but they can't be bought at a supermarket. They're coming from war stocks, and those war stocks are running low, so there's a limit to how far that can go. And Crimea is an interesting case. Russia, over 200 years ago, spent a lot of blood and treasure to seize Crimea. That has withstood attacks of armies in the Second World War. It's very well fortified, and it will not be easy for Ukraine to take that without a fight. From a military perspective, the military always fight these battles, but it's the political end that ends up resolving them. And every second this goes on, more and more soldiers die. Tens of thousands have gone already. We're not at the end yet, but we're going to see increasing international pressure, particularly from America, for President Zelensky to start at least picking up the phone.
OK, watch this space. Sean, for now, thank you very much.